Hey, I'm Brenna Whitaker, and I'm hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
The lovely Verb Studios. I can't believe I'm in this room right now.
It's pretty magical in here.
Right?
Yeah. Like, is this thing on?
Yeah, right? Are we being recorded? Is this an exclusive track? Like, I feel like everybody's watching right now. But this is, I mean, it screams David Foster on here, and David Foster is a big part of you. So I really want to talk about how that relationship with David Foster started with you.
Well, I've been a fan of David since I was a kid, just power ballads and emotional music. And it's weird how you kind of manifest things in your life if you obsess or if you become infatuated with a certain style, or as you get older you notice that things just come your way.
Right.
So with David Foster, it was definitely, we like the same things, and a lot of the same artists that he produced I became friends with, like Josh Groban and Michael Bublé. Wow. And all their musicians, and I was in the right place at the right time. Right. And I had been doing my homework.
And how do you, as a fresh artist, how does one really come into relationships like that with these big names? Because there's no one new in your like group of friends, for example.
Well, I've studied David for the past couple years, and one of the things he says that's really important is networking. Mm. So when you're in a city like Los Angeles, you know, they're everywhere, right. But you could meet people that could definitely help you. So if you're in the right place at the right time and you're doing quality work, something's going to happen eventually. So that's kind of how I see how it worked for me.
Now, soul music that you're doing, I mean, it's not something we hear every day nowadays. So coming into it, was it something that you considered might have been a struggle to put out to the world, to actually pay attention and go to a show and listen to your music?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I'm a bit of a rebel, and I like to be the underdog, and I like supporting other underdogs. So, ruff ruff. No, I'm a dog person, and I definitely feel like this body of work has, been a part of my soul, right? Literally. So that's what you're seeing is my interpretation of these songs through my soul. Okay. So I'm glad that, I'm here and we're able to be aliens together.
Right. Right. And jumping into that album, which was the debut self-titled that was released last year, and you picked a certain number of classic songs on this record. What is it about these songs that you wanted to put them in this record?
Well, I love putting together shows. One of my favorite things to do is putting together a beginning, middle, and an end. So with the material, I chose things that were heartbreaking, but then kind of, don't tell me what to do, and then, reel them in with a really, really slow ballad, and then do something funny. Right. So there's all, the landscapes are broad emotionally.
And then putting your taste on it, there's a few songs in there that are yours. What was it like going into the studio, coming here to record it, and working with the big band and working with the string instruments and working with everyone that was involved?
Well, an example, when I did the originals, today in music it's difficult to figure out where you fit in the word, what genre you are. I consider myself just a performer. But for instance, when I was recording the song It's Not That Easy Being Green at Jim Henson's studio where Kermit lives, and I walked into the session and there's like 16 strings, and I just, there's no other word that I could use except magic. Yeah. Like it really is magic when you're living your dreams and then things come in your way and things start happening. So it's kind of like magic that this is all happening.
And I mean, are you still in awe going into these rooms, going into these sessions, or are you able to go in and take control, like this is what I want, this is how we're going to sound?
Well, I'm scared out of my mind most of the time, but I have a nice spiritual foundation for living in LA. So and I'm very close with my family. So if I do that right, I think I just have to be brave enough to keep moving.
Now, what are you like when it comes to writing? How do you really put a song together?
Well, I love sad songs, so I love optimism and hope, and I like speaking to children and making sure that they have hope for the future. So I like there to be a moral of the story in most of the stuff that I write.
Okay, and then we just heard the new song "Love Back." The video's out as well. Tell me about the music video.
Well, we wanted to stay kind of retro, which is my natural timbre, and but we wanted to do something pop. So we kind of blended the two with the message that everyone has wasted time with the wrong person in the message of the song. So the storyline is, love gone wrong, and the guy is a drunk, and I had to kick him out.
Right.
And so I left. I took the keys to the Ford Mustang and see you later.
Now, you come from a Broadway background as well. So anytime you get to do a music video for your songs, are you 100% wanting to be the main actress on this, or do you feel comfortable having a lead on your videos?
It's funny. I was a couple years older than him, so I was instantly just sort of like, how am I going to, one-up this kid?
Right.
But he was wonderful and graceful. But yeah, I naturally accidentally want to take over everything. And with my theater background, I love comedy, so I have a hard time taking myself too seriously.
I mean, I'm sure with the comedy background, you might, even when writing music, you might want to add some jokes into something.
Totally. One of my favorite singers is a lady named Ruth Brown, and Pearl Bailey, but they're comics, jazz musicians. So to me, they're playing music with their jokes, even, because they're, like it's all like a one-liner or a really hilarious moral of the story.
We were mentioning earlier, you have a lot of friends in high places, for example, and you've been able to go and perform your shows and have guest appearances. One in particular, Stevie Wonder. What was that experience like, performing and then having him just join you without you even knowing?
Well, it was like you're in a UFO and you're like, I've been abducted.
That is an interesting way to put it.
And it was unbelievable. You're in like a snow globe of cell phones, and Stevie Wonder, and he has these seashells in his hair, and he's like, what sign are you? And we had some magical moments, but I got to walk him down the stairs, and I was very like, oh, am I really doing this? And he just trotted right down. No, I got it. And he just trotted down the stairs at the W in Hollywood. But, I'm so blessed to live in this city where we all, live, and people go out for dinner or drinks and hang out with their friends, and then there's your hero.
Right. But I mean, it seems like your shows have turned into improv concerts. You just had another one earlier this week with John Mayer.
Yeah.
I mean, none of this is planned. It's just like, surprise, I'm here.
It's another one of those things. It's like magic.
How do you do it?
I pray a lot. And I'm obsessed with people, and I stalk people on Google. And I think I manifested certain people into my life. But definitely John Mayer is like, for my generation, for someone who has a deep respect for history and the history of music, he just oozes soul. Right. So it was I'm still on cloud 9 from that experience.
Now with these experiences, would that lead to maybe some guest features on new tracks that you might be working with, or even for the future?
Most definitely. I mean, I think collaboration is the way we do all of this. So, I'm always looking for the people that inspire me to go further. Right. And John Mayer and Stevie Wonder, I mean, I'll take it.
That's just the few.
Yeah.
So you've done a couple one-off shows out in LA. Can we expect maybe like some tour plans for you this year?
I'm touring heavily in Europe. And what we're doing is just kind of breaking me more over there and then bringing that energy back to the United States.
Gotcha. What is it about Europe that you wanted to break out there before breaking out here?
Well, they listen to music a little differently. They're not afraid to be a little nerdy. So it's kind of nice. Everybody in America is so cool, and they're worried about what everyone's thinking about. But in Europe, they're kind of like, I love this. So it's nice for me because they're a very attentive audience.
So are you in Europe constantly during the year, or it's just scattered dates that you're doing?
I'm like, well, coming up, I'm wanting to work as much as possible, but I'll be in Japan this month and New York. And then next month I'll be in Germany, Italy, and Paris.
And any opportunities with performing with David Foster yet?
I hope so. I'm going to put him in my
I
suitcase.
think he's going to make you wait the longest.
Yeah, he has a private plane, so maybe I'll just sneak on.
Whatever you can do. You said you Google stalk him, so just do it. Just do it. Got to be positive with it. Well, I appreciate you hanging out with me today. The record is great. I can't wait to hear more music from you and definitely see you live. I wasn't able to catch you this last week, but I look forward to seeing you live. And you guys be sure to check out Brenna Whitaker. Pick up her album. And one of the craziest things that happened to you in the studio while recording this album was?
Ooh. Well, we channeled Luther Vandross, and there's these two beautiful windows here with the trees, and every time we would talk about Luther Vandross, the trees would move. So we think he's in there.